Hello, welcome to Polytechnic English. Today we'll be learning about expressing obligations. What are obligations? How many types of obligations are there? And why is it useful for the students? Okay. So first, what is an obligation? See, if you take an example, sentences which can identify, like he must take care of his health. He should take care of his health. Example, if you take, he has to take care of his health. There are different sentences: must, should, and has to. In this one, three, must is a strong obligation. Should, you have the choice, and has to, you have it is a third variation. Okay, three are strong obligation, but in this one, must is very, very important. Now, next one, see. Here you can see there is a strong obligations must we have given. Okay. Now, what's the difference between this? Now, words like must and have to are used to speak about obligations and some compulsory behaviors. Okay. Like you can see in your textbook, they have given, as I have said already, you have example you can take, you must wear a helmet. Okay, you must wear a helmet. If it, otherwise, other meaning is I have to wear a helmet. Now, what is the difference between here? You must wear a helmet, I have to wear a helmet. In the first sentence, if you say you must wear a helmet, that means the policeman used the word must. Okay, and mustn't to mean it is the law. The words must and mustn't are used where you have no choice. Okay, you have no choice. And use must and mustn't to give orders where the speakers has no choice but to accept the orders or the law. Okay. If we say in this, as I said in the second sentence, I have to wear a helmet. Here, the speaker knows that the law demands we wear a helmet, but he uses have to. That is to express being compelled to do something by an external force. Someone is asking, some external pressure is there, you have to wear. So he may not like it. Okay, he may not like it, but someone or something forces him to do it. So in such situations, have to is used. Okay, so as I said, have to and must are there. So must is used where it is like an order where the speaker has no choice. He has to accept the order or the law. The second one, have to, it is also an expression, strong obligation, but here it is being expressed, it is being compelled to do by something by an external source. Okay, you may not like it, but someone is pressurizing you. Something forces you to do. In that situations, we use have to, even though you don't like, but you have to. Okay. Now you can give the example here. Obligations, we use must, have to say that is necessary to do something. Well, it is 11 o'clock. I must I must go now. I have meeting at 11 o'clock. Okay. Or I have to go now. I have a meeting at 11 o'clock. Fine. Now there is a difference between must and have to. With must, the speakers are giving their own feelings. As I said, okay, here you have to obey. But here you can see it is an external, your own feelings are here. I must study English if I want to pass the exam. In the second one, have to, the speakers are not giving their feelings. They are giving just facts. I can't come on Saturday. I have to work. Okay, students have to wear uniform at this school. Those students, they don't like to wear uniforms, but someone is pressurizing you to wear a uniform. Okay. Now, you can use must to talk about the present and future. Okay, we must go now. That is present. We must go now. We must be on time tomorrow. Future tense. We must be on time tomorrow. Like we must go now. It's raining, or it will rain. You must be on time tomorrow because we have an exam tomorrow. Okay, this is a strong obligation. Coming to have to, as I said, someone is pressurizing you, you don't like, though you don't like, you have to do because it is it's a force, external force. Okay, I have to leave the party early because I felt ill. Because here you are leaving the party, you have left the party because you felt ill. In the second one, what do I have to do to get a degree in economics? You are asking what I have to do to get a degree in economics. So have to is used in all forms. Okay. Next one, you must keep fit. That means must is used a strong obligation. If you keep fit, you stay healthy. You stay healthy. Put the rubbish in the bin. Okay. So here you are asked to put the rubbish in the waste in the bin. So how do you use in the sentence? Someone is asking you to put the rubbish in the bin. It is a law like. So you must put rubbish in the bin. Fine. Next one, speak English in class. Now, many of your teachers will be asking you to speak English in class. Otherwise, they impose some fine, isn't it? So it is also like an order. It is like an order given by the teacher or given by the institutions. So speak English in class. So how do you use this one? You must speak English in class. Otherwise, there is a fine for it. Okay, you can take it. It is an order where you have to behave it. Next slide, you can see pay taxes. So you all will be knowing you have to pay the taxes. Okay, so paying taxes is a compulsion. So you have to pay taxes or have to pay taxes because someone is, I don't like to pay tax, but it is a pressurizing by the government where you have to pay the taxes. So what do you say? I have to pay taxes. Okay. If I don't pay the tax, what will happen? I have to pay with the fine. So you have to pay taxes. Now have a passport to travel to Africa. Now if you're traveling somewhere, you need a passport. So how do you use? Okay, how do you use? You have to have a passport to travel to Africa. It is not must because it is a choice. You can go if you like, you can go. If you don't like, you don't go, isn't it? So you have at least two choice. You have a passport to travel to Africa if you want to travel. Next one, wear uniform. Here you can see three persons. One in first person, the army man is the soldier is wearing a uniform. Okay. And the second here, the nurse is wearing the uniform of the nurse, and the third picture you can see the students are wearing the uniform. So it is a particular organization where you have to wear a uniform for identification. Okay. So what do you use here again? Though you don't like, you have to wear a uniform. Fine. Next one. Prohibition. What is prohibition? Something it's stopping you to doing that one. Okay, you mustn't do this thing. You mustn't do that thing. So you mustn't do something means it is prohibited that you do it. Okay. So here you can say example. You mustn't tell anyone what I said. In the second example, you mustn't smoke. If you smoke, your lungs are damaged. Okay. Next one. Eat junk food. So what you have to use here? You should eat or should not eat? You should not eat junk food. So you mustn't eat junk food. It is a compulsion. Okay. You mustn't eat junk food. If you eat, you feel ill. Use your phone. Use in the negative. Okay. Use your phone. Where you have to use, where you should not use, you have to know that. So you mustn't use your phone while you are in exam, or you mustn't drive using a phone in a driving. You mustn't you must wear a helmet. You must wear a seat belt while driving. You mustn't smoke. You mustn't be on phone while driving. You mustn't drink while driving. These are all prohibitions. Okay. It is a law where you have to obey it. Sleep in class. Is it good to sleep in class? No, isn't it? So you mustn't sleep in class. What happens if you sleep in class? The teacher or the sir will come and scold you, isn't it? Next one. Absence of obligation. That means you don't have to do something, means it is not necessary to do it. It is not necessary to do it. So I can stay in bed tomorrow because I don't have to go to school. Okay. Not during this pandemic, we are at home. So what are the sentences we can use? Because it is COVID, okay, where we don't have to go to colleges. And to stay safe, we should be at home. Next one. Get up early at the weekend. Yeah, no obligation. Okay. So, what is obligation we are using here? There is no obligation to get up at the weekend. So, you don't have to get up early at the weekend because it is a holiday. Work on holiday. Again, no obligation. Okay. So, again, what you have to use? You don't have to work on holidays. Okay, you don't have to attend classes during this vacation. Okay. Next one, advice or opinion. Now, there is a difference between advice or opinion. Advice is something one person is giving, where there is an opinion where you accept or where you reject. Advice or suggestion. So many of your elders or teachers will be giving you advices, but here you can accept it or there is a choice for you whether you accept it advice or you don't accept it. Okay, so here we use should. Okay, should is you have a choice where you can accept or where you cannot, where you can reject it. So that is called an advice. The way we use should. Here we use should, that is do. Ought to, again it is a do, to give advice or say. Now there is a difference between ought to and should. Ought to is a strong obligation compared to should. Ought to is like a must. Okay. You have an advice, but ought to is something like must. Should, it is a secondary where you have a choice here. Okay. So what do you think is good or bad? Example, you shouldn't smoke so much. Okay. You shouldn't smoke so much. A cyclist should wear a helmet. So it is up to the cyclist where he has the choice to wear a helmet, or many of the cyclists, they don't wear a helmet. So there is a choice. Whenever we use should, there is a choice you have to think. Like we say, we should help our poor people. We should help old people. Why? There is a choice whether you help them or not. We should keep the premises clean and green, because if you keep your premises clean and green, it will be good. It is up to you. You have a choice. Okay. Should and ought are very similar, but they often replace. So, but should is much more frequent ought we use compared to ought to. Now, take warm clothes if you go to Dublin. Someone is asking, giving you advice. So, if you're going there, you have to wear warm clothes. If you are traveling to tropical countries, wear cotton clothes. So, someone is advising where you have to accept it. But it is up to you, as I said. So, you should take warm clothes if you go to Dublin in winter. Fine. Next slide. Drink so much coffee. Here, you should not drink too much coffee because it is very unhealthy to take too much coffee. So you shouldn't drink so much coffee. Got it? So you know where to use must, when to use must, when to use should, when to use have to. As I said, must is an order where you have no choice, where you have to obey it, where you have to obey the order. And have to, it is someone is compelling you to do it. Someone is pressurizing for you to do it, so you don't like it. Compared to the third one, what I said, should. Should is used where you have a choice, where you can make choices. Example, as I said, once again, we'll recapture what we have learned. Must is a strong express compulsion. You must be more careful with your health. Okay, you must bring your hall ticket when you enter the exam hall. Second one, have to or has to. It is expresses external pressure. That is, he has to work the night shift. He has to work hard to get through the exam. Someone is pressurizing you. Okay. Third one, have had to. HAD had to. It is this expresses past obligation. I have to work very hard to earn money. I have to work very hard to get distinction. Third one should. Here you have a choice. It is also a strong obligation, but here you have a choice. And it is a negative, like shouldn't be used. If it is a positive use, should. You shouldn't. You should help the poor people. Okay. You shouldn't drink alcohol while driving. Now the next one is needn't. Needn't expresses lack of compulsion or necessary. I didn't go to the office today because it is a holiday. Um, No, there is a paragraph in a textbook. It has given first aid burns. Like example, paragraph is given. Please, I'll read the paragraph where you have to express the ideas in your own sentences using should or shouldn't. Where you have to use should, where you have to use shouldn't. I'm reading the paragraph. Place the area with burns under cold water and run plenty of water over it. This reduces the heat in the skin. It is important to do. It is important to do this for at least 10 minutes. Remove anything tight like a belt. Take off all jewelry. Then cover the burnt part with a clean cotton cloth. Don't apply butter, oil, or ointment on the burnt area. It has to be cleaned again before treatment can be given. If the burns are extensive, call a doctor or an ambulance. So where I'm using important, there you have to use should. Where I'm using don't, you have to use shouldn't. Okay. So first, you should place the area with under cold, the burnt area under cold water and run plenty of water. Then it is important. So again, you should do this for at least 10 minutes. Then remove anything tight like a belt. Take off, you should take off all jewelry. Then cover the burnt part with a clean cotton cloth. You shouldn't apply butter, oil, or ointment on the burnt area. You should clean again before treatment is given. If the burns are extensive, call a doctor or an ambulance. Again, assignment also given in your book, where you have to rewrite the sentences using must or should wherever applicable. Like for the first one, I really need to get a haircut. Really need to get a haircut is I must get a haircut. I strongly recommend you watch this movie. I strongly recommend you watch this movie. Strongly recommend means again must. So you must watch this movie. Don't work too hard. Giving advice. So you shouldn't work too hard. Okay. So many examples are given in your textbook. You can go through that one. And right here also I've given some exercises. It is get habituated with doing these exercises. Here some model works are given. Must, have to, don't have to, mustn't. So wherever it is applicable, you can write it. Okay. So this was your first lesson, where you have from the beginning, if you go through that one. Once again, we'll recapitulate what we have learned. Expressing strong obligations. So there are 4 obligations: must, have to, should, ought to, also need to. Again, this has the negative forms of the must is mustn't, have to is haven't, should is shouldn't, ought to is again, had to is given. So must is a strong obligation. Should be, have to is also a strong obligation, but must is a law and order, like law and order where you have to obey it. It is like law where you have to obey it. Have to is also you have to, but here though you don't like, you have, someone is pressurizing you to do it. Have to is someone is external pressure is there, so you have to do it. Should, here is a strong obligation, but here you have a choice. Okay, there is no strong obligation where you have a choice whether you do it or you don't like to do it. Now next one is had to is the past strong obligation. Need to is also a strong obligation. And also must is also used in the present and future forms. We must go now. We must write this. Okay. We must do that. We must be on time tomorrow. So must is also used present and future, whereas have to is used in all forms. Okay. What I have to do tomorrow. I had to leave the party early because I felt ill. So have to is used in all forms. You can see the picture. You must keep fit to stay healthy. So you can see here, you must speak English in class, where the teacher is asking, advising you to, where the teacher is giving you the order to obey, you have to speak in English. Okay. Pay taxes. Again, it is a strong compulsion. Someone is pressurizing you. No, it is also a strong obligation, but here it is someone is external compulsion. Okay, external pressure is there. Outside pressure is there. You have to. So what do you say? I have to pay taxes. Have a passport. Again, here also you have a choice. You have to, sorry, you have to compulsion. Here external pressure is there. We have to have a passport to travel to Africa. Otherwise, they don't let you to go out. Wear uniform. Again, you can see here. What do you say? They have to wear a uniform. Someone is pressurizing you to wear a uniform. That is, the institution is pressurizing to wear a uniform. Otherwise, they don't let you in. Prohibition, where we use mustn't, we use shouldn't. Okay. You can see mustn't eat junk, you must not eat junk food. You must not use your cell phone. Okay, you must not sleep in class during the lectures. The absence of obligation, we say don't have to. So it is not important for you to do it. So, okay. So get up early at the weekend, no need. So don't have to get up early at the weekend. Work on holiday, don't need to work on holiday. Don't have to work on holidays. Advice, as I said, it is an opinion. Advice is something where you have a choice. You go for it or you don't. If you don't like, you don't do it. Okay, you shouldn't smoke so much. They are asking. So it is up to you. If you accept it, then you have a choice here. Shouldn't. You should wear a helmet. Here, the cyclist, if he has a choice to wear a helmet. You can see many examples. Again, drinking so much of coffee. So you shouldn't drink so much of coffee. But you, if you like, you drink, isn't it? So again, you have a choice here. After that, you have assignments. You can go through this one and go through the textbook exercises. Just keep it in mind. Must is a strong obligation. You have to obey it. Have to is also a strong obligation. But here, even though you don't like someone, external pressure is there. Come with third one, should. It is a strong obligation, but here you have a choice. Okay. Thank you.